You see the hind? We're gonna take it.
We have James Burns here from Black Ops. James, it's Frank Woods in Black Ops.
Welcome back. It's time to announce the character of the year. All right, and the winner is Sergeant Woods, Call of Duty Black Ops.
Looks don't count for shit in the jungle. It's nah, baby.
It's you, yes! Yes! Frank Woods! Yeah! Call of Duty Black Ops!
I'm here with Dave Anthony, director of Black Ops, and we are here at House of Moves because we are going into the mocap room to do something a little special with Frank Woods. Can you tell me how he was able to steal the spotlight and the VGA nomination when he's not even a playable character?
The actor James Burns, if you knew this guy and if you meet him, you will instantly know the answer to this. James is such a charismatic guy, and he just is this character.
So you are Sergeant Frank Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops.
You think I'm fucking nuts? This guy.
All right, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Checking in, hot here in LA. Love it, loving it. Not here, it's cool. Air conditioning, it's cool here. Vic, how you doing, buddy? Don't need no man. How you doing? I'm hoping to have a special guest here today. Let me check in on him. I think he's hang on. Let me check something. Let's see. Is anybody on Instagram? Hey, Lone Survivor. I don't know. Probably can't say. Don't know. Toby, how you doing, buddy? I want to check the Instagram feed, see if it's says it's supposed to tell you. No. Is there? Yo. Yeah, I'm trying to get this to broadcast on Streamly as well. So give me a second here. It says that I don't know. I know so little about Instagram and yeah, me either. Toby, am I planning getting on Rumble? No, I am not. I have a hard enough time getting this done. So, and I'm not sure I have a Rumble account. I don't know. So it says here. All right, so it goes. Once you're live, you'll find it at the top of your feed on Instagram. What is my feed on Instagram? Anybody know what that is? What my feed is on Instagram? Hang on, I'm just trying to figure out how to use this live. Live. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea how to do this. Okay. I'm trying to get Darwin to come. I can't find Darwin. I don't know where he is. And Oh, I have to put the destination key in. That's so complicated. There has to be an easier way to do this, right? Has to be. All right, done. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Who else is here? So what's going on? Who's out there? Anybody having a good Wednesday? Anybody? Any news to report? Oh, yeah. No kidding. And books, you reading any books? Lone Survivor? Tell me about Black Ops 7. What's going on with that? Keep hearing rumors. Hey, Wolfie, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Vic, dinner tonight is going to be a steak. I get steaks from a company. They ship them to my house. So today's a steak night. And again, probably with mashed broccoli. Like that. Wolfie is now becoming a pro gamer, or he is a pro gamer. He's doing well. So everybody, give Wolfie a shout out. Wolfie, tell us where to find you. You know. Yeah, me too. It's kind of momentum. I'm not sure how much longer this is going to be going on for me. It could end quickly. I don't know. You know, I'm at that stage where I'm kind of sitting quietly waiting for the next thing to pounce upon me. I'm not sure what Roblox versus Schlep is. Enlighten me. I don't know what that is. Not a fan of Omaha Steaks. I use a company called, the hell are they called? Good Ranchers. I use Good Ranchers, yeah. Omaha Steaks, I had some bad experiences with them, so no more. All right, I used to play Roblox games, but I quit Roblox after I heard. I don't know what is. Let me look that up. Roblox. What is that? I'm gonna look that up right now. Roblox. What is Roblox? ROBOX. Roblox. Roblox is an online game platform and gaming creation developed by Roblox Corporation to program play games created by themselves or the users. A virtual universe lets you create and share experiences. Okay. That sounds cool. What's happening? Are people being stupid? Yeah. Roblox versus Schlep. All right. Schlep is a YouTuber known for creating videos focused on identifying and exposing individuals who he believes are attempting to engage in inappropriate or harmful contact with minors on the Roblox platform. His methods often involve staging conversations and interacting with suspected individuals, which he claims led to arrests. Roblox recently terminated Schlepp's account and issued a cease and desist order accusing him of violating their terms of service. Roblox accusations include engaging in simulated child endangerment conversations, sharing or soliciting personally identify information. They argue Schlepp's methodology bypasses their safety system. Roblox maintains harmful activity. Schlepp returned defensive action is necessary to protect children, but Roblox's own moderation system allegedly failed. So, yeah, I'm not sure where to go with that. Yeah, it's an opinion. Did it lead to arrests? I don't know. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a lot more complicated than that. I think that's the end result, but I think by doing what he was doing, he was also violating the terms of service. So, yeah, that's complicated. But at no point in time is it okay to groom kids online. I firmly believe in beatings for that. You know, I think that's. I have friends and people who've been victims to that, and that's not kids, man. Do not mess with our kids. Don't mess with our boats. Narks, how you doing, man? Good ranchers, yeah. Not great ranchers, good ranchers. I love their stuff. They usually send me a gift item as well every month. This month I had chicken wings. Oh my God. I have learned how to make chicken wings. I'm a happy camper. Well, here we go. Well, first of all, Raul Menendez is no longer played by Camar de la Reyes. Camar, bless his soul, he passed away. Rich McDonald is no more David. He's not David Mason anymore. So, and I saw it would appear that I will not be Woods anymore either. So that's where we are, you know. Hey Shakes, how are you? Vegas, Vargas, good to see you, man. Next, I'm trying to get Darwin to show up today, but he's not responding, which means either he's playing with his dogs, he has these cute little dogs, or he's out doing awful things to his wife. Well, I mean, good awful things to his wife. I should say it that way. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Ronan. Well, none of the original guys. Again, I don't know anything about Black Ops 7. I really don't keep track of the Black Ops universe anymore. I keep track of you guys, but really, I'm not, you know, I'm on to another thing. I'm on to something new. No, Vito, what's his name? Ventimiglia, Milo Ventimiglia. He's a good actor. I mean, they chose a good guy, you know. Well, you know, Darwin would not be Darwin if he didn't discuss things that, you know, he shouldn't discuss. Is Hala? Hala? I didn't see you. Oh my gosh, how are you? It's been 1,000 years again. Missed you guys. Missed everybody. It's been a great summer for winding out. Yeah, didn't make the Tampa Comic-Con for a bunch of reasons. All kinds of drama. I'm getting emails from IGN, getting all kinds of drama happening. I call my agent, and you know, I don't need this fucking drama, man. Too old for that shit. But Ronan, that's amazing, brother. That's amazing. Good for you. You're gainfully employed. You're at a PMC. Can you tell me which one? Maybe we have friends there. Yeah. Hey, Michelle. How you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. I love to hear from the community when you guys check and say, I'm busy. I can't stay long because I'm busy moving my life forward. I just loved hearing that from you guys and gals. So do it. Keep doing it. Keep moving forward. Fitness of mind, fitness of body, fitness of spirit. Keep it up. Hala. Wow. Did you graduate this year or next year? I know there's so much. I'm so out of touch. I hate it. Vargas, anything. Lemonade's great. Anything is better than soda. Anything is better than soda. Waters is better than soda. I have not. I have not checked out any music yet. I have not. No, all right. Yeah, I've got a friend, a buddy of mine, that does that. I have actually a couple of friends do that. Exact same thing, VIP protection. Yeah. Good gig, nice gig. Do you have ongoing? Do they have? Does Night Division have on? Does KDT have ongoing training for you guys? Do they have like weapons classes and do they train you consistently, or is that something you have to maintain? Yes, stay away from the sword. Well, Vargas, you know that. You're old school. Oh, Victor, I have not been to a baseball game. Man, 20 years. It may be last time I saw a baseball game. Might have been the Yankees. Yeah, Yankee Stadium. Might have been maybe the 80s, early 90s, late 80s. It's been a while. And funny thing is, my cousin owns a baseball team too. It's a minor league team in Troy, New York. But he's got a little squad out there. A-ball, yeah, independently. Yeah. So I do. I like night games. I'm not good in the sun. I do not like the sun. Obviously, got sunglasses. I got the sun coming through my window. So obviously, I don't like the sun. But I do like watching baseball games at night. Good. There you go. Get as much training as you can. The more skills and more knowledge you have, the better. The more adaptability that you have, the better. And something like being a security detail, it's going to have value in the years to come. Life for me has been really kind of neat. Things are good. Things are actually really good. Feel good. Playing hockey again. Just had a great trip back east. Played at a concert. Did back there. That was amazing. Working on. I may do a quick show on the 19th in LA. I may. We'll see where it goes. That's it. Just waiting for the next thing. Reading my book by Catherine Ponder. This one. Love this book. Very helpful. And my journals, and I'm working. I'm working. Oh, thanks, Vic. Appreciate that. Well, that's the thing, right? That it kind of disappeared. I think that's important. I think that's important, understanding that what happened there. Christina, yeah, Narks was just you keep me ahead of the curve, Narks. Well, brother, sure I'll take all the credit, but it's you doing the work. I say these words to everyone, but only a handful take them and apply them. So that was you. Congratulations. Now, is that true? I know he was in a BlackRock commercial. That's what I saw. But man, the more I study, I've been taking classes about AI, and the more I learn, the more I recognize how I think it's now 90% of what I watch online is artificially generated. I don't think there's so little. There's so little content that's real. I think we're going to be at a state where you're going to have bots training bots. I think we're at a crisis point where reality is under attack. Reality is going to be a measurement. It's going to be a certain percentage of fact is now reality, because everything is so you just don't know. You just don't know what's real anymore. Yeah, the dead internet, it's happening, right? It's already happening. I was using AI today. I had this idea for a script, and I just hear it. Give me a paragraph on this, and in 30 seconds I had 5 seconds. So it's a great tool, and I think those of us who learn how to use these tools will be able to adapt to the next thing. But if you don't have the ability to use these tools and be fast at things, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Black Ops 2 is not future warfare. Well, the fact that there's a whole industry opening up for counter drone technology. How do you counteract drone weaponry? That's a whole industry now. There's a whole group of people dedicating billions of dollars on how to protect against. And we're in fascinating times. You're a pair? A pair of what? But Ronan, there's debunked videos on all sides of that conflict over there. They're seeing that cover of that Time magazine thing where they staged the starving guys. I mean, you just can't trust the media. The media has descended to it's all clickbait. You can't trust any of it. I mean, The rollerblades. I'm going to start rollerblading this week. I've been playing a lot of hockey. Got to get my left leg stronger. My therapist is back. She's back. The lady who works on my leg, I got to see her on Thursday. So I get her working on my leg once a week. Then I got my weights. I got my leg press. I'll be back. I feel good. I mean, I have no pain. Just don't want to get it super strong, I don't think so, Anthony Johnson. I think they're ripping off Shrek, I'll be honest with you, about layers. And that has nothing to do. I think you're giving them way too much credit. I think they're just ripping off Shrek, quite frankly. And that's my opinion. Well, that was back before my knee was even rehabbed. Like, I'm rehabbed now. I just got to get stronger. The knee is good. So basically, that's even more fun. I skate out here in front of the studio. It's great. Yeah. Well, of course I'm right. That's way too sophisticated. You know, if it was the old writing team, there'd be a possibility, but it'd be more. It wouldn't use the Shrek line. I'm like an onion. Think, come on. Yeah, there's a video of me kind of skating, and I was kind of living up at the lake in Massachusetts. They did some skating videos. It's fun. Yeah. Vic running in the night. You mean Michael Vick? Is that the 90s? No, that was the early 2000s, right? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, Anthony Perry. Oh yeah, we're on to this. That was a great road. That was one of the best summers of my life, I think, being at the lake that summer. That was a good week. That's a good year for me. It's a good year. Every year is good for me. Right now, it's like Abdullah, my brother. See you, man. Where is my boy Darwin? Hey. Oh, Darwin. Where are you, man? We're waiting for you. Dude, I sent you a link. Did you not get the link? Check your. I sent to your text. Check. I checked it too. Let me see. Oh no, it went to your. Why did it go to your email? Oh, it's the old one. It's the old. Why are you? That's weird. All right. I'm gonna send you. Why is your phone? Everybody, I'm talking to the one and the only Darwin. When I do a text to you, how come your old DNA? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna send you a link right now. Okay. All right, bye. Yeah, shit's about to get real. The one, the only, the Darwin fucking Necessian. Hang on, let me. Hang on. StreamYard changed the format, and I don't know. No. All right, I got it. All right, you should be incoming. Let me catch up here. Hang on. Yeah, you can, but it's terrible. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. But think about pears. I love pears. I do, but I can't say it because I don't want to. Well, number one, because I don't want to give away shit for free anymore. That's why. They want my ideas, they get to pay for them. Yeah, the community's great. I love this community. Well, I'm working on it. Trying to get Darwin. I got Darwin on my side. It's all I need. And a few more. Yeah, it's all good. I'll figure it out. Hey, Victor. Yeah, man. It's like it's become a real industry, you know, brother. And yeah, I was supposed to be at Tampa Bay this weekend, and yeah, things happen. So sorry about that. There are Roblox characters? Really? Oh, man. Yeah, but we might know. I'm still waiting for Darwin. Yeah, the OGs show up. You know, we have a constant flow. Some days we get, you know, I think weekends are better for most people. Wednesday seems to be a tougher night. I've been very inconsistent. When I've been on the road a lot this year. A lot. Been away a lot this year. So if I'm out of the studio, it's harder for me to do. Yeah, I just talked to him on the phone. He's supposed to check in. I don't know where he is. I sent him a. Well, who put it in Roblox? Was it Activision or did a fan make it? Was it something a fan did? Ronan, I tell you what, when Darwin is if I know anything about weapons, it's because of Darwin. And Darwin will be jumping on. Darwin actually writes reviews for guns. He's a weapons specialist. So he should be on any minute now. He's going to show up. So stick around. Ask Darwin. Darwin loves to talk about guns. He will definitely steer you straight. Here he is. All right. Darwin, you already got questions for you. You ready to come on there, big guy? Nod your head. There he is. Yeah. The man. So we have a first question for you. Young man wants to know, can you suggest a reliable platform for him for his first AR?
Oh, AR. Okay. Well, I guess, can you guys hear me, by the way? Is there any feedback?
You're good, man. You're
okay.
Good.
Okay, cool. So reliable AR, that's really going to depend on the budget. There are reliable ARs that offer like a lot of different really good benefits for you. But I've always got to ask, what's the budget? Give me a budget.
Give him a budget.
I'm trying to. My studio's not fully finished. My new studio's not fully finished, so I'm trying to figure out how.
Your studio looks great.
Okay.
Yeah, so wait on his budget is $9,500. That's a lot.
That's big. That's a big ass budget. So, look, I'll say there's. I'm a buy once, cry once person, but I also don't necessarily.
What? Say it again.
I'm a buy once, cry once person.
Buy once,
cry once.
Yeah.
So I like to buy the good stuff the first time, and not have to make a bunch of additional purchases just to kind of correct my a poor decision in the. Ultimately, buying a bunch of things just to make up for mistakes you made. It's not going to be it's going to cost more than just buying something great one time and moving forward with it. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to spend an exorbitant amount of money on something just because it's super Gucci or because the name commands a bunch of extra money. You can get really, really great stuff. You just have to know what's out there, which is why I'm a good person to ask this stuff to, but it really helps to know the budget. But honestly, I really like, do I own air guns or air rifles? Many years ago, I actually used to own an airsoft business, believe it or not. So yeah, I had lots of those. But anyway, I really recommend companies like Bravo Company USA, BCM. Really recommend Griffin Armament. That's they're a top-notch company. Their suppressors and ARs are fantastic. There's some other companies I like. There's some companies I'd probably tell you to stay away from, just because I've seen some shoddy work. But you can't go wrong with BCM or Griffin Armament when it comes to AR-15s. Really love American Defense Manufacturing as well. LMT, great company. But yeah, that's those are some pretty good recommendations. Jim, are you sitting still or are you frozen?
No, I'm very still.
I was like, did my screen just freeze or is Jim sitting really still?
Explain this to people right there. But what AR means.
What AR means? So AR, so people always think like AR is assault rifle, but it's not. It's Armalite rifle. Because back in the day, see, now we have a bunch of choices of all different types of tiers of AR-15s. But back in the day, it was like Colt and Armalite. Those were and Bushmaster. In fact, they actually called it the ABCs of AR-15s: Armalite, Bushmaster, and Colt. Nowadays, you have a lot of different companies doing really great work. Truthfully, before I'd go, I still like all those companies. I just, I really move towards, BCM, and Daniel Defense is another really great one. Let's see. I truly appreciate. Thank you I was looking into a Kalari Arms for an AR. Well, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about Kalari Arms, but so I can't really say anything about them, without being kind of disingenuous. But yeah, how much are those Kalari Arms AR-15s? I'd be curious. A BCM I think will cost you like a full rifle, probably cost you around $1,500. And there's, what I actually just reviewed for, I think it was on the Firearms blog. I wrote an article reviewing the new Springfield Saint. I think that one's more like around $1,000. But Springfield did a very nice job with it, and I've got a full review on it that you can read. I think it's either on the Firearms blog or on thetruthaboutguns.com. Jim, did you see I used a Call of Duty photo on
I loved it.
the other day?
Yeah.
So, have you told them that we're working on an article together?
No.
So I had this idea that I wanted to send Jim a couple holsters that were sent to me by a manufacturer, and just because actually he would be able to try them out, especially this one holster for like this really cool pepper ball gun. It's like a non-lethal gun, but it's really cool for defense if you're not going to use something lethal. So I thought of this idea. I'm like, hey, let's do an article where it's like, hey, I had Sergeant Frank Woods from Call of Duty do my work for me. So he's going to review it and I'm going to write it. A question for Darn is the SIG. Oh no, someone's going to ask me the SIG P320 question. Have you heard about this, Jim? SIG P320, the debacle?
No.
So SIG has all these military contracts, and one of the major ones was for the M17 and M18 handguns. what happened was back in like 2017 when these came out, people started saying, hey, there's problems with this. The gun can go off without you pulling the trigger. Like there's some issues. And SIG has always denied it. But these incidents that keep popping up, and they've gone to court a bunch of times. And, it's just, and SIG keeps denying it and saying, hey, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. And this has been going on since 2017. Now it's kind of come to a head, and like all these agencies that did contracts with SIG are sending those guns back, or not sending, they're not using them anymore. Like the Air Force said, hey, like put these down, we're switching. The Army is now looking at the new Glock COAs, right? So all this stuff's going on. And so the question here is the SIG P320 completely worthless in light of recent controversy? And should the U.S. military hold a new trial for a new service pistol? So I wrote an article about this when Gunsight Training Academy dropped the SIG. Well, they didn't drop the SIG P320. What they said was that unless you're military or law enforcement, you cannot use a SIG P320 on their training courses until SIG figures this stuff out. That was their announcement, and I wrote an article about that for the Truth About Guns.
What's the issue? What's happening?
It's so people are having like discharges while the gun sits in its holster, allegedly, right? Now I've seen, and I've seen some videos. One thing that people aren't realizing though is other guns have had this problem too. It's not a huge problem. It's a big problem to have. I'm saying it's not something that happens often, but believe it or not, it has happened like on a Glock, like what we consider one of the most reliable pistols on the planet. So if the SIG P320, and now it doesn't happen, I don't hear about it happening on Glocks anymore. I hear it happening on SIGs. I've owned both the SIG P320, the P320 M17 and M18, the military versions, and I've never had a problem with it. Now, would I put one in my pants, especially appendix carry at this point? No, I'll admit I'm scared as shit. I won't do it. Does that mean that there's a problem with them? No, it just means I'm scared as shit, right? So I don't think that they're junk. I don't think that they're worthless. At the very least, if a problem is found, I think SIGs, they're too big to fail. They'll fix it. I just don't think they want to come out and say,
well, what do you think it is? What's your guess?
I know a lot about the ins and outs of these things, but
this guy says bumping the slide made it go off.
Yeah. Like I see like they put it into battery chamber, it's chambered and everything, and it's fine. And then like I recently saw someone take like an empty shell casing with a primer in it and load it in, and they just like tap the slide and pop, it went off. So I'm reluctant to call those people liars. I've seen it done on video. I just don't want to shit on SIG because they're a good company. There's a lot of good people who work there. And if you look at, even if this is a total screw up, if you look at every product they've ever made, they've contributed like immensely to the industry and and to the gun community. So no, I think if a problem is they truly say, hey, there's a problem here, they're going to fix it. My only thing is I can't evaluate one right now because I sold mine back in the day, probably because I got scared from all the rumors. So yeah, that's my take on the SIG P320 debacle.
Hey, so Darn, how close to narcs are you? Do you think, without doxing yourself?
Oh, I don't care. Like, I don't care if I dox myself, honestly. Like, this would be, like, look behind me. This would be the worst place in the world to come start something.
Please come break into my house, please.
Because the first thing I'm going to do is cut the power. I've got night vision, IR lasers. I'm like, yeah, no. So, anyhow, so I'm in St. Clairsville, Ohio. I'm, like, right by the West Virginia border and not far from the Pennsylvania border. So yeah, narcs. Actually, I was talking about this with Jim the other day. I'd love to see you, man. Yeah.
Well,
cool.
I mean, for Darwin, a 3-hour drive for you is nothing. That's like, from where you came from.
In the last few years, in the last 5 years, man. Honestly, if you told me I had to drive 10 hours somewhere, I'd be like, cool. See you in 10 hours. It's just crazy. So yeah, 3 hours, no big deal. What is my opinion on the L3 Harris? Great night vision. Love their stuff. They are, they're very much a go-to for a lot of like law enforcement and military. The thing is, so I've been working with a company, Armasight. Armasight's a really big, great company within the industry. They make thermal and night vision and scopes. Obviously, mountable night vision for helmets, and their stuff has been fantastic. I got a bunch of it here right now, actually. Armasight makes something called a BNVD 51. Now, what's different about the BNVD 51 is that the 51 stands for 51 degrees. So while most dual tube night vision, they give you a 40-degree field of view, the BNVD 51 gives you 51 degrees. I've heard some people say that, well, I'd rather have the 40 because the image seems a little flatter, at the widest edges. I've been using these BNVD 51s for months now. I freaking love them. The wider field of view is fantastic, and they're not quite as cumbersome as like if you've ever seen the quad tube panoramics that a lot of the tier 1 operators are using these days. Like those are like $50,000 a unit. They're not as big and cumbersome. So 51 degrees is great out of, standard. Here.
Why are you talking about? Just show the damn things, Darwin.
So, yeah. There you go. So these are just like standard dual tubes, right? But now I'm forgetting where my button. There it is. So standard dual tube night vision, without having two more tubes, making a really large sort of setup. These guys are great, and you'll see a whole lot. In fact, I got to tell you, these are white phosphorus. This is the white phosphorus Gen 3 unit, which is like as good as it gets. And I can be out in pitch black night. I see everything like it's daylight. It's absolutely stunning. And works great with IR lasers too. So yeah. Hi, Satanya. Good to see you. I love talking guns, man. Like you'll never, if you call me and you want to talk about guns, like we'll go for a while. Do I have? No, currently I don't own any air rifles, and I think air rifles are really cool. They're really fun. I've owned them in the past. I love them, but I make a living like writing political Second Amendment articles and doing gun reviews. So I'm shooting real guns like all the time for my job.
So explain that. Explain what the 2A rating is. A lot of people don't understand what that is.
So I was actually nominated for the Gundies this year for top 2A writer, which was like, pretty cool.
Do you have the vote? We can start voting for you right now.
Yeah, they're starting to nominate next year's participants. So maybe I'll get nominated again this year. So anyhow, so I write Second Amendment articles. Obviously I'm pro Second Amendment, and a lot of my pieces are. You're not going to like them if you're expecting someone to just like report the straight news. But if you're looking for like an op-ed where I'm giving my opinion and it tends to be abrasive and offensive towards, woke people and anti-gun people, anti-Second Amendment people, then you'll love what I write because I called someone an asshole the other day in one of my articles, and I keep thinking my editors are going to, have a shit fit and and edit the hell out of me, but like they let it go. I guess people really like it. Yeah, Toby, I write Second Amendment articles. That's one of the things I do for a job. The other thing is, I do gun reviews. Someone asked me what my favorite gun is. That's it. That's like asking someone like which one of their children is their favorite, right? It's a very hard one for me. I can tell you that that's my Barrett MRAD 338 Lapua. If I want to shoot something at a mile, that's my gun. That relationship is very near and dear to me. But I've got a couple BCMs up here. There's a if you've ever seen Black Hawk Down, that's basically the Gordy gun that one of the Medal of Honor recipients, Gary Gordon, that's the type of gun that he shot. The suppressor's really, really kind of special. And there's a Caracal 816 up there. That's a really cool gun. I got a lot of stuff from Q. You'll see like there's a Q Fix right there, and that's a SIG Rattler, but there's a Q Honey Badger, which is really kind of iconic for the 300 Blackout. And of course, there's my Benelli, and there's more gun walls kind of all around me. So I'm surrounded, but I'm comfortable. Quartermaster. Dude, yeah, it's one of those things like, especially with this job, people send you stuff and you review it and you kind of accumulate, really cool adult toys. So, not adult toys as in, guns, not dildos. It wasn't me at the WNBA, I promise. Let's see, Darwin, I know I asked about AR, but as someone who wants to start plinking every day, what platform would you recommend for me? Handguns, AR, SMGs, DMRs, or bolt actions? Well, that really depends on what you want to shoot. I love shooting everything, but in my heart of hearts, like I love bolt actions because I love long range shooting. I'm a little bit of a math nerd, so all the math you have to do to calculate your trajectory, and then all the work you have to do to understand, how wind speed works at different, and how to read it at different elevations. How to read topography and understand which direction the wind's going to be blowing, if you're going to have updrafts and all that stuff. It's very, very technical, and I really love it. I love to shoot the mile. Anything less than 1,000 yards is like, I consider it, really intermediate range. Like, it's not long range until it's beyond 1,000 yards. That's just me. So that's what I like. But if you don't want to spend that much money to get into like, the sort of the mechanics of long range shooting, you can actually start shooting precision 22. And if you don't get like a really crazy expensive precision 22 platform, you can shoot 22 all day long. And the ammo's super cheap, even if you buy good match ammo. So that might be something to consider. Also, 22, you're going to really test your skills in like 100 to 200 yards, where you can shoot at ranges pretty often as like outdoor ranges, versus like to really stretch that guy out, you need a range that like at Angeles range in California, they have 600 yard range, right? That's nothing at 600 yards. That's like it's a piece of cake. That it's a really, really, crazy round. So I mean, it's a really flat trajectory, powerful round. So 22 might be a really good option to start learning how to read the wind and judge elevation and calculate all that stuff without spending a ton of money and without having to find specialized places to shoot your gun. So that's another great thing. But as far as like, if you want to practice plinking for defense, man, 5.56 is relatively inexpensive too. And it's practical because, the AR-15 is America's rifle, right? So, there's parts and accessories and everything you would need. Don't over-accessorize, please. And you can get them everywhere. It's relatively inexpensive. 5.56 is relatively inexpensive until you start getting into some of the fancier, like, 77 grain loadings. So an AR-15 is almost like freaking essential. Handguns, I'm boring. Like I have some cool stuff that manufacturers sent me, expensive stuff like the TWC Black from Jacob Gray Firearms that I love. Smith & Wesson sends me stuff all the time. I just got a 45 sent out to me from Springfield Armory that I'm really excited to review. But for a long time, my personal guns, Glocks, Glock 19, Glock 17.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
17, that's me.
So where do I write 2A articles? Okay, Firearms News Magazine. You'll see, so you can get it like, in certain newsstands like Walmart and stuff like that. You'll see my articles there. You can also go to firearmsnews.com and, look me up by name and see my articles. Also the firearmblog.com, TFB. You can check my articles out there, and thetruthaboutguns.com. I write a lot of articles there.
Truth about guns.
Guns.com. Second job. Possible to do it remote. Yeah, Toby, you can write if you want to be a writer. I mean, I work from home. I'm totally remote. Vic, when liberals say the Second Amendment was written for muskets, okay, you can't lob me easy ones, man. You can't lob me easy ones. I destroy liberals on this because if they say the Second Amendment was written for muskets, then the First Amendment must have been written for what? Writing letters and sending them by carrier on a horse. It won't cover you on TV. They didn't have TV back then. Won't cover you on the phone. Won't cover you on the radio. They didn't have that stuff back then. So, yeah, liberals are fucking crazy when it comes to this stuff. They have absolutely no common sense. If you took the restrictions on the Second Amendment and applied them to the First Amendment, people would be up in arms about the loss of their freedom of speech, their freedom of expression, their freedom to assemble. They'd be absolutely fucking up in arms. You can't make me apply and pay a fee and do a waiting period before I say something, right? Well, if it's not an infringement on the first, then it can't be an infringement on the second, right? So this is very simple logic. And anyone who tries to make it more complicated than that is just trying to grift you. They're just trying to manipulate you, and that's so no. That's
well, a musket was considered an advanced form of weaponry back in the 1700s. Like having a musket, that was advanced weaponry. That's something you, and like Nugget says, what people don't understand about the Constitution. It wasn't about the Constitution wasn't written so the government can control the people. It's so that citizenry can control the government. And that's the misunderstanding. Like it's like that's where the communist and socialist idea, like we got to switch around where the government's in control. It's like, well, no. People need to just, we get to decide how we want to live, and where we want to live, and how we want to do it. Yeah. And I think that's it's a control mechanism. And it's also about when folks live in fear, they got to find something they can control so they feel better. So telling a guy like you he can't have a gun or have his guns, they feel now they have control, but they're still in danger because you're not the guy who's going to walk down the street and steal their steal their money. It's the guy who's not who. Yeah, so that's where it's really a cultural issue. It's also a perception of like, just do you want to take your protection in your own hands? Do you want to take responsibility for your own life, or do you want someone else to do it? And that's where the conversation really begins and ends.
Yeah. I just actually turned in an article today about I think it was titled like the Second Amendment no one wants to talk about. Here's the thing about the Second Amendment. If you go back in history to the time of the founders, and you will see in other writing, they do express why they wrote the Second Amendment. And the reason is not like they weren't like founding a country and going, holy shit, how are we going to kill a deer to eat? We need to put this in the Bill of Rights. No, that's not. Or oh my God, what are we going to do if we want to shoot sporting competitions and we can't have guns? We need to cover our sporting. Dude, this is the Bill of Rights. This is like freedom of speech, due process, like really important sort of foundational aspects of starting a country, right? Imagine starting a country. So the Second Amendment goes in the Bill of Rights, and it's the second. It's number 2. It's that alone says this is really important. Well, why is it important? It's not important for hunting. It's not even necessarily a simple self-defense thing. The Second Amendment, and you could read about this at the Heritage Foundation, and probably in a bunch of my articles, to be honest. The Second Amendment was meant so we could stand on sure footing against our own government should they go tyrannical. That is the reason. I'm not saying, hey, let's go out and overthrow the government. No, but I'm saying, like, should the government could turn tyrannical, we need to be on the same footing. So technically,
here's another antidote to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you remove the idea that government is this thing up there, it's not. Government is the cop coming to your door. Government is that person at the DMV. Government is the guy in the post office. They're human beings who are flawed. They're human beings who make mistakes, and they're human beings who obey mindlessly what they're told to do. This is my job, so I got to do it, right? So understand that government is the person next to you. And that's where you got to understand. Like sometimes people get drunk, they get stupid, and you got to take care of yourself. Yeah. And it's not this big. We're not worried about what did Biden say. I got jets I'll turn against my own people. I'm not about the jets, you know?
Yeah, like Eric Swallowswell. It's actually Eric Swalwell, but Eric Swallowswell, a California politician, was on Twitter years ago. Actually, it's really fucked up because he was responding to Tonto Peranto. If you guys don't know who Mr. Peranto is, he was one of the guys from 13 Hours, Benghazi. He's an Army Ranger, a retired Army Ranger who was working as a CIA contractor, and was one of the guys who literally saved the CIA annex in Benghazi. When that whole thing went down, and he had the nerve to respond to Tonto. Tonto said something along the lines of, if you want to go around taking guns, it's not a very smart idea. And this Swallowswell guy says, well, we've got nukes, so basically we're not worried. And it was like, well, hold on, did you just allude to the idea of nuking Americans? And then he responded by, that was a joke. Oh, so now it's funny to nuke Americans, coming from an American politician. That's how scummy these people are. But Jim, what you're saying is correct. There's a little nuance though, and I talk about this a lot. I was just talking with a Missouri sheriff. His name is Chris DeGase, and he, I interviewed him and I did an article, and he started this Second Amendment sort of organization of sheriffs in his state, and they're basically saying no to the federal government and saying we're gonna protect the Second Amendment here in our state. Don't come around here no more. And great guy. But I did talk with him and we both agree that, look, Jim, can I unleash?
Go.
Okay. So we're talking about it. It's like, look, you take every anti-gunner in Congress and the Senate and whoever and send them over here to tell me, hey, Darwin, no, you can't. And that's not going to end well for them. Okay. That kind of, and it's not just me, it's any gun owner. That's why these people are cowards and they're cunts. Okay. So what they do is they send armed police to you. And that's why we need to have good relationships with our law enforcement people so that that relationship becomes reciprocal. Because at the end of the day, these politicians have zero power, zero,
yeah,
without enforcers.
Yep.
And if they're enforcers and the public realize that we're all on the same team, that we all want the same thing, then their anti-gun agenda, which is no different than any country's anti-gun agenda, whether you look at Turkey or Rwanda or Nazi Germany, it's all the same. They just want to subjugate you so that they can, force you to do whatever they want. So you become a slave state. Okay. So they can kill you and there's no repercussion. No one's going to do anything. So there's
also the idea that it's a balance of power. Like the British try to disarm the colonies because they didn't want any resistance. The guy who has the club or the knife is generally in a superior position of control. They can out control you with threat of harm or death, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, what's interesting. You
walk around a place like Texas where there's open carry. People are really polite. And people generally be more polite in general because everyone is a possible is a possible threat. So you stay alert, but you also know that don't fuck around because people are going to be. There's going to be a lot less stupidity when people know there's consequences.
Yeah.
Now, I know that argument opens up some other retaliation, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of bullies out there. They're not going away, and depending on someone else to take care of you is never a great idea. And have it. It's like keep your nose to stay out of trouble, but have the ability to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's it. And every human being, should have that inalienable right. But you've got, listen, there, with everything. So I think everything should be legal. I don't care whether we're talking about machine guns. I don't care if we're talking about if you've got the money to own an aircraft carrier and somehow, look, it's ridiculous. But if you got the money to own a jet and blah blah blah, hey, I don't see anything. The Second Amendment's 27 words. It's very concise. It's very clear. I don't see anything restricting it. So I think you should be able to own anything, but that doesn't come without responsibility either. Like I'm writing a story right now on something that happened in Seattle. Basically, some liberal dipshit who was looking to start shit started harassing this black guy in a wheelchair, like out in public, and he was basically trying to tell him, hey, there's a flag on your wheelchair and a patch on your wheelchair, and that's stolen valor. Did you hear about this, Jim?
Yes, I did today. Yeah.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was the guy goes to the other guy's wheelchair and tears his patch off, and then steps back. Okay, well, now you're an asshole. Okay, plain and simple, you're an asshole for doing stuff like that. Mind your own business. But the guy in the wheelchair then pulls out a knife, and I'm talking like this thing was almost a saber. Okay, it was bigger than Rambo's knife.
I thought he had an airsoft. They said he had an airsoft gun.
That comes next. So he pulls out this knife, and if you watch this video, it's absolutely insane, because at this point, the asshole who like originally is accusing him of stolen valor, he's backed up now. The wheelchair guy with a huge knife, I mean, the thing was like big, right? With this huge knife in his hand, literally charges on his wheelchair at that guy. That guy backs off. He backs up. Now, I don't like him. He's an asshole, but this is the truth. He backs off. So now the wheelchair guy realizes I can't create, I can't close the distance. This guy's not handicapped. He's just going to walk away and laugh, right? So wheelchair guy starts reaching for something, and that's when the other guy standing back takes his backpack, pulls it around front, reaches in. He's kind of trying to see what this guy's doing, and the guy in the wheelchair pulls out a gun. He pulls out a gun. So this other guy pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Right.
Well, guess what? That gun the gun that the wheelchair guy pulled out was an airsoft gun. But you're under no obligation to assume it's a toy or assume that even if it's real, that he won't shoot you.
The only issue that is coming up with this is a very simple one. And this is where the California is really tough like this. The guy with the backpack, he could have left. He could have walked away quickly. He could have exited the conflict. No. You can't look. Let's say I couldn't tell exactly what the airsoft gun looked like, but it looked like maybe a revolver. I don't know, but let's say it's a revolver and it's a .357. Okay, let's say 1,200-1,300 feet per second. Unless you can walk at 1,200-1,300 feet per second, a firearm is a great equalizer, and that guy can still shoot you. So, in my opinion, you're not everyone's an asshole here. And fair, it's too. Again, it's two knuckleheads making it hard on everybody.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Making it hard on everybody, and nobody's right. They're both wrong.
Yes,
they're both wrong. Yeah. They're both fucking wrong.
And that's really honestly, that's a big issue when it comes to debates and arguments, and it's one of the most annoying things. For me in the world is that two people will get into an argument or a fight because, first of all, we rush to choose a side, and then once we choose that side, we believe that our side is without reproach and their side is, entirely incorrect.
Yeah.
And it's never that way. We're both right and we're both wrong in a lot of times, more times than not. But because we refuse to recognize that nuance, we get into these huge fights over things that are stupid.
Well, could the guy who walked, does he have an obligation to ignore this guy? Yeah, get the fuck out of it. Why are you arguing with the guy in a wheelchair? What so that's where I go back to. He could have this could have been handled just by walking away and ignoring him. The guy's not going to chase me down in a wheelchair, and that's where I think they're going to take it back to him being basically prosecuted because he did not have to escalate. He could easily have walked away. I think that's going to be the issue.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how the case goes. But remember something. This is in Seattle. Now this is going to Seattle, their brains are going to fucking explode in this trial, and I'll tell you why. Because so first of all, the guy who did the shooting, in 2020, he rammed his car into a Trump voting registration thing in Florida. So this guy's a known scumbag, right? Which is the left loves these guys. Like the left, this is your typical, like, you know, who they recruit for Antifa and stuff like that. He's a darling of the left, right? Scumbag, like, absolutely. So Seattle's might look at him favorably there, but he also shot someone, whether in self-defense or not. Hey, we're liberal, we don't like guns. And the guy he shot happened to be black. So you know how that's going to go as well, because of that racial component. Seattle, like, so I think they're going to have a really hard time going, like, hey, which one of these darlings should we shill for? What happened to Jim? Did Jim go away? Okay. Can you guys still hear and see me?
I'm back.
Okay. So it's just going to be really difficult for I think Seattle, because hey, which one of these guys are we going to shill for? I don't think either person could really get a fair trial. Not in Seattle.
Yeah, and it's also the case where avoiding conflict is a big freaking deal.
That's it.
I mean, just knowing, and that's what I'm saying. I just think knowing people are armed, it's just a better way of avoiding conflict. You just don't know what somebody's capable of doing, right?
Yeah. Another big lesson, though, is guns are not for threatening people. Guns are not for intimidating.
You don't use it to, it's the last resort.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you do.
Yeah, the idea that you're going to pull out an airsoft gun, even a real gun, but I'm just saying you're going to pull out an airsoft gun. Okay, so obviously you're not looking to shoot anyone in self-defense. What are you doing? You're trying to intimidate. You're trying to.
The problem is an airsoft gun, and it takes. I mean, you'd have a hard time identifying it quickly under stress, right? Even an expert. And so you whenever you do that, it's not meant for that.
If you see the gun, any moment you take to try to analyze the gun, you're dead. You're dead. The gun. I mean, like I said, let's say that's a 357, 12, 13, 1400 feet per second. You have no time. He pulls that trigger, you're dead. So you see the gun, you have to react. If you hesitate, you're not going home. And that's an unacceptable outcome. So this is a really unfortunate thing. It's a really, really unfortunate thing that happened. And everyone's an asshole, in my opinion.
Good point. I think it is illegal to take a tip off. You want to tip off an airsoft. I think it is.
Yeah. And that sucks too, because like people buy airsoft because it's cool. It's a replica. You shoot them. They're a lot of fun. Certain airsoft guns you can actually train with, and it will translate to real gun skills.
What's hard is that that kid in Chicago a few years ago got killed by a cop. He's waving a gun in a park. I'm like, how are you supposed to know that it's not? It's such a difficult thing.
How old was he?
He's like 12, 11, 12-year-old kid.
Okay, that's the parents' fault. That's crazy.
The debate is that the cop, it's again, he got eviscerated for it. But cops are shot every day by little kids with guns. I mean, it happens a lot,
Dude, irresponsible parents, like, kids get a hold of their guns sometimes and take them to school and shit like that. We've all heard the stories, right? So the cop, there's no way in that split second the cop is supposed to know that that's an airsoft gun, because if he judges wrong, his life or someone else's life could be in danger.
Yeah. Again, and it's funny, like, it's people who the kids are out doing stupid shit. Well, they're doing stupid shit because you weren't there, and all of a sudden you want to sue somebody. No, I lost my boy. Well, yeah. Well, where were you for the first 15 years of his life?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
be out there doing. Where was he? Where's his special love for your boy? When he was growing up and he became a knucklehead. That's where the question happens. It's just consistency.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really too bad people don't have common sense. Back when I played airsoft, we didn't have those orange tips, and we would, and if they came with orange tips, I mean, this is ages ago, but we would immediately
or best of both worlds. Take it off when you're at the range, at the airsoft, compound and put it back on when you leave.
Well, the thing is, a lot of times you couldn't because it was like on the actual gun.
You wrap tape on it.
Yeah. I mean, look, but I get it. No one wants to look like their airsoft gun was manufactured in West Hollywood. I get it. Like these bright pink and orange tips. Yeah, they're whatever. But like,
Tank, the thing is, and I've seen it happen here in LA a lot. People get fucking, we've trained a whole generation of kids to be anti-authority, to be belligerent when confronted with law enforcement. They're taught to actually resist. Resistance is now considered a strong point of your character now. And so if a cop says drop it and he says fuck you, well, okay, at what point? We've created a whole class, a whole culture of people who are celebrating the idea that we're gonna fuck with the police and they try to arrest us. Well, it ends up poorly. And look at almost every single case of police brutality. You see the first 12, 15 minutes of just idiocy. Of course, you only see the moment when he throws the guy on the hood of the car. It's like there's 10, 15 minutes of idiocy happening prior to that.
Yeah. Vic's saying around Philly they collect guns for $100 grocery cards. So these gun buybacks and they're absolutely retarded. But if you know anyone who is going to give away their guns for a $100 grocery thing, I'm actually a federally licensed firearms dealer. I don't sell guns, but because I do this for a living, guns, silencers, things like that have to be sent directly to me. So I can tell you this: if you've got a collection of guns and they're remotely neat, right? Don't get ripped off that $100 grocery card. Find a guy like me. We'll probably pay you more, easily more than $100 for most things. Those gun buybacks, they're a ripoff. So yeah.
Well, they're awesome, but I think the buybacks are mostly for people, for criminals to take them off the street, hoping somebody's some crack addict with I think nobody with a gun, who has is going to give up his gun for $100 unless it's illegally got. So I don't think it's about legalizing.
You'd be surprised how many people inherit guns and they're not gun people and they don't really understand fully what they have. And I'm not talking about they're giving away $1 million gun from $100, but they don't realize what they have. And they're like, oh, there's a gun buyback. I can give 5 guns and get at $500. Sweet, I'll go. But there's smart guys that hang out outside those gun buybacks and they'll be like, hey, I'll give you more than $100, but you should see there's some little treasures at these gun buybacks. Don't fall for those gun buybacks. And in fact, there was a
what is ACAB mentality? I'm not familiar with that, or I'm not sure what that means.
ACAB. I'm drawing a blank, actually. Tell us what ACAB is. Mentality has an exact. All cops are bastards. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, they're not. Are there some bad cops out there? Sure, just go on YouTube. You'll see a ton of them. But that's the stuff that those train wrecks, that's what people want to watch. That doesn't represent, the plethora of, cops out there who are putting their life on the line.
Like I said earlier, if you look at police, it's like you can't see a population as a monolith. You can't see the police, law enforcement as a monolith because they're human beings. That the guy's working 12-hour shift and he's not feeling good and he's just had a shitty day. You catch a human being in a bad fucking moment, he's gonna make a bad decision, and that's something you got to take into de-escalate because especially when you drive out here and someone acts stupid, let them go because you don't know what kind of day they had and just. You're flipping them off the bird and the joke. Maybe the last thing they're going to push them over the edge. And for you, fuck you. You don't know. It's the idea of escalating anything is just ridiculous. There's nothing valuable in mouthing off or trying to keep your quote pride in a fucking on the street. Keep fucking walking. Ignore it. When it comes to a cop says stop. Here's my license. Here's my driver's. Here's my registration. What do you need? You know, if you caught you speed, yeah, you probably broke the fucking law. Most people get offended. Most people get resistant because they know they broke the fucking law. They know they're going too fast. You didn't have your seatbelt on. You got the tinted fucking windows. Your lights are out. Your plates, you know, whatever they are. Most of the times they're pulling you over for a legitimate reason. You know, you do something that they're checking out.
Yeah.
Oh, don't pick on Darth Vader.
Yeah. Hey, babe, will you come get Weenus? Because she's like a heat generator, and like my office gets a little hot. So if I'm not with her, she starts to complain like pretty quickly. So go to mama. So sorry, where were we, Jim? What were we? I'm getting old.
We're just talking. We're just commenting about de-escalation. You know, cops are human beings. Cops can have bad days, so you can't depend on them to be like you. And compliance is when we stay safe. You know, someone asks you. You know, he pulls. Some cop goes over. Pulls. Hey, can I see your license, please? Sure. Here's my license, registration. What do you need? You know, how hard is that to determine some type of racial fucking situation or some type of indignation, you know, or some, there's so many fucking reasons people do stupid shit. If you're drunk, you're probably in trouble. If people resist, people do that usually when they've done something fucked up. You know, when they broke, they got caught, and you got caught. The cops caught you. You know,
but you know, you're so right about the mentality. Becky teases me all the time. Like every time I've been pulled over, I never get a ticket. Never. And obviously I don't have a very pretty face. Okay. So how do I not get pulled over? Okay. So first of all, I used to work with a lot of law enforcement. Some of you guys may know or may not know, I used to work in like intelligence contracting and, domestic terrorism investigations here in the United States. So there is a particular lingo, and we do recognize each other when we start talking, but before any of that happens, when a cop walks up to my window, I'm like, what's up, brother? If I know what I did, like if I don't know that my taillight's out, I'll ask him. I'm like, what did I do? But if I know what I did, I'll apologize to him for it, and specifically say what I did before he even says it. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, well, you're admitting guilt. Okay, you know what, whatever. Let me tell you something. I've taken this attitude with police officers, and I've been like this forever. Becky's seen me get pulled over several times since we've been together. I've never gotten a single ticket, and she laughs and laughs. She's like, wherever we go, like,
yeah, because you're refreshing. It's like, I've got same thing. I got pulled through a rolling stop. Guy pulls. I go, I know, I got sloppy on the sign. It's my hood, man. I just figured, And he goes, all right, listen, I appreciate that. Give me a hard time. I'm just gonna give you a warning now. I said, I appreciate that. I'll do better. The idea is to make someone else's life easier. And when you see a cop, try to make his life easier, because there are a lot of jerks out there, and there's a lot of dangerous folks out there.
Yeah, and cops really appreciate it when you treat them well. These guys have a ton of shitty days, and they really appreciate when you treat them well. Ronan, luckily, I am not looking to commit any war crimes in any country, but I will say that the fact that you mention India makes me hungry, because I like Indian food a whole hell of a lot. So give me some chicken tikka masala, some paneer. Oh my God, baby, we need to find an Indian restaurant here. What are you drinking, Jim?
Is that politically correct? You can't say that, can you?
What?
Indian restaurant? Is that legal to say now?
Yeah, Indian. What would you call it?
I don't know. Punjabi?
The place with curry?
I don't know what the politically correct for Indian food is.
Do you eat Indian food? No? You're not big on Indian food?
Let's see. I like the what's that bread called?
Naan.
Naan. I like the naan.
naan, garlic naan. There's a bunch of different types.
I don't garlic. Yeah, I like masala, but some of the spices kill me. Some of the spices are really too much for me. But I did an Indian movie once. I was working for like 3 months on this Indian movie, and they had Indian. They brought the whole crew over from wherever that Bombay, and they catered Indian so by the end I was like, I had enough. I had enough Indian food, man. I love the rice. The naan was great, and there's a chicken thing I like too. But man, some of the spices just and these guys just your body will project what you put into it, right? So
yeah. I really love Indian food. I love all of it. I don't care. It's delicious. Ronan is like my new best friend here because if he's gonna make me Indian food, like honestly, you've got a room in my house any day, bro. Seriously, I no shit. By the way, you work for a company that does private security in Russia. That's
Knight. Works for Knight.
Oh, that's really freaking cool, man. That's awesome. Would love to know more about that. Toby said, did you catch my comment about Black Hawk Down character Grimes? Oh, yeah, Grimesy. Yeah, so Grimesy's kind of an amalgamation, but he's mainly based on this one guy. And I can't remember the real guy's name. But yeah, unfortunately, he was a ranger who came back stateside and did some kitty diddling. And, they say like nothing you really do, your bad behavior, like Rob O'Neill getting drunk and punching guys out, after killing bin Laden, like, well, that doesn't erase what he did for the country. And I absolutely believe that, but you mess with a kid and fuck you. Like, you don't touch kids. You don't mess with kids. You don't even ruin a kid's day. Okay. They're children, right? Fuck you. So
unfortunately, it does wreck everything.
Yeah, man. Like seriously, where have we gone that way? People do I don't even want to talk about it. It's horrible. If we visit India, hit you up. I will. I'm one of those guys. Like I'll eat like street food in India, and if it sends me to the toilet, whatever.
And his woman will suffer for days.
Yeah, and then but as soon as I'm done on the toilet, I'm going back out and getting more street food because like I bet that shit is good. Rob O'Neill. So I have sort of an indirect connection to Rob O'Neill. Rob and I don't know each other though. The book The Operator that Rob O'Neill wrote, that was sanctioned by the Pentagon. So now, does the Pentagon lie? Fuck yeah, they do. Do they lie about Rob O'Neill? Who knows? There is one operator who I believe the SEAL community says is credible and that he actually did the kill shot. Honestly, who the fuck knows? Rob O'Neill kind of got screwed, I think, with his pension when he came out of the Navy. There was some, stupid controversy there. So the fact that he wrote a book about it and it was approved by the military, good on him. Because when you devote your entire
it was proved by the Joe Biden military, not by the Pete Hegseth military. It's a whole different military, dude.
Yeah, but you know what? Like Rob O'Neill gave a large portion of his life and risked a lot. He was part of the Captain Phillips rescue. Obviously, he was there for bin Laden and arguably shot bin Laden. So if he gets screwed on his pension, good. I'm glad he made a bunch of money on the book. I love the guy. But who knows who did the real shooting? And I don't think that's the point though. I think the point is that these guys are teams. They're brothers. If you ever hang out around these teams, the connection is like it's stronger than like blood with a family. It's crazy. So anything one does, they all do. And even when Rob O'Neill says like, "Hey, yeah, I put bin Laden down," he's not saying it in the terms of the text of like, I did this and my guys, didn't, or I did this and my guys watched. He may have been the shooter. Maybe the other guy was the shooter. I believe Rob. But it doesn't matter. It's the team, SEAL Team 6, Americans. they went and they did this, and it's a great fucking thing. And I'm sure Rob O'Neill feels the same way. Yeah, Captain Phillips would have been enough for most. Yeah. Now, I don't think Robbie was one of the shooters in Captain Phillips, but he was on that SEAL team, and he was deployed to the I forget what kind of ship it was, but he was deployed to that ship where the shots were taken by, I think, members of his SEAL team, which were crazy shots. Because as a guy who shoots bolt actions, I shoot precision rifle, I shoot things a mile away. I love that stuff. Yeah,
two boats moving.
They're both doing this. Like, not only that, imagine that you've got three snipers taking out 3 subjects at the same moment on a boat that's going like this to another boat that's going like this. Like, the coordination, making sure you can see those guys in those little port windows, firing those 3 shots at the same time and hitting all 3, no errors, while the boats are going like this, right? Well, let me tell you something. If you're, I'm not trying to put down any country or any country's military, but this is what we can do. This is what Americans can do.
Yeah,
watch the fuck out.
It's tough to think that. The things you don't want to be that impressed. Well, 3 people lose their lives, but you play stupid games. You're holding somebody at fucking gunpoint. What do you think's going to happen? You pull a gun out, point it at somebody. It's bad shit's gonna happen. So it's like bad shit. I mean, I have compassion for the situation, but you pull the gun on somebody. You're holding somebody at gunpoint. Do you think? The whole disposition of that movie was off for me. It's trying to make the pirates like they're the victims. No, you took over a ship at gunpoint. That's just my hope. It's like I think Hollywood was in a really bad place back then. They're just very anti-masculine, anti-male, anti-American.
Yeah.
Tommy Hanks.
That hasn't changed. That hasn't changed.
Konnichiwa, Tomoko.
You boys better catch him quick. Bad shit's gonna happen. Catch who quick? Who are we catching?
That's a line from Black Ops 2. Yeah.
Sniping in games is not it's the same. The other thing people don't understand is, like, if you go out and you become a really good shot and you can do all that stuff, that's just part of sniping. Most of you've got, that's just a given. You've got to be a crack shot. You got to know your win calls. You got to be able to communicate with your spotter. There's a lot to it, but even more so, stalking, getting into position without getting caught, extracting without getting caught. Maybe you're a sniper that does Overwatch. That's cool, but maybe you're a sniper that's out there with a spotter trying to take a long range shot and take someone out, right? Like, all that stuff, camouflage, everything. Sniping's a really, really big deal, and it's a very difficult thing to do. It's not just about taking that precision shot.
We have a lot of people coming from Japan right now.
Oh yeah, like, are they real people or are they like AI people?
Katsura-san, I think Katsura. Are you the one I did the movie with? 2015. Did we work on Hero together?
Oh, I remember when you did Hero. That's a great scene too. The one where you speak Japanese.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think this guy's one of the actors from that. Maybe Judge. I'm not sure. And Tomoko.
Okay.
I don't know Tomoko, but I think Katsura-san is. I think.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, our questions kind of slowed down. So, what do you want to talk about, Jim?
Nothing, man. I'm just glad to have you on. It's up. Toby's still having this conversation about.
About John Stevens. Yeah. That's. I didn't realize that was his. What happened. I knew he did go away. Really sad, man. It's really sad when people go out and do great things, come home and do shitty things. Well,
also, again, I don't know what I don't know anything about it. And there's also a lot of guys get caught up, with some girl who's 17 years old who looks like she's 35, and all of a sudden, so I don't know the specifics about that, but I know there are people get caught up, and like, oh shit, this girl's she's only 16, but she's acting like she's 22 in a bar, and all of a sudden, so I'm careful when I hear this stuff that you don't know the circumstances. Because, say pedophile, you think he was diddling some 2-year-old boy. It could have been like, he might have met a girl in a bar who was 17. And so I don't know what happened there. So
yeah.
You got to be careful not to assume like he's diddling a 2-year-old boy. He's not a priest,
That's very true. Life is full of nuance, and understanding it really helps us form more, informed opinions.
Yeah, again, that's. I mean, that's why I can't watch any of the superhero things. It's like I'm glad the woke is going broke. It's made movies terrible. It's in the film industry in LA. It's really falling apart. And it's either they make films that actors can't afford to do, paying a couple $100 a day, which is not a living wage. And God, I got an email today from the guy who's just SAG is having its elections. Do you know that only less than 10% of all union actors make enough money? They make $28,000. The average actor makes at poverty level $15,000 a year.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not livable, man.
That's not a livable wage. You're not really a professional at that point. You're just doing what you can. But those are union statistics. Only 10% make $28,000 or more. Wow. Out of 160,000 members, that's a terrifying number. Anyways, that's why a lot of our business is going, because movies that people just want to see can't be made because and those middle range movies, they deal with true stories.
Yeah.
Whereas now you just either got to have a Tom Cruise flying, which he's a fucking badass, by the way. But that's how many Mission Impossible? What that cost? Like $400 million to make that?
Yeah, probably. But I agree with you on Tom Cruise, by the way. We may not connect on certain things, like as far as like personal stuff, religion, whatever. But like he's an actor, and as an actor and a producer, he's fucking fantastic. I mean, Top Gun 2. Holy shit! Like I grew up on Top Gun 1. Like everything
he flew that jet. He flew that fucking fighter jet.
Dude, so everything that came out of my mouth as a child was from Top Gun. And I was like, how are you going to compete with Top Gun? But man, if anyone is going to make a fucking sequel, holy shit, did Tom Cruise just blast that one out of the park? Like, I trust him to make a third, and I never talk like that, especially after those dipshits ruined Halloween Ends a couple years ago. They made Michael Myers into such a bitch.
Tank, great point. It's like the villain used to be somebody who had a purpose, and the purpose was in opposition to your protagonist, the antagonist. Now it's just like, I'm going to destroy the world. Why? Because I can. Like, Snidely Whiplash. I actually, yeah.
But we were talking about movies and TV.
Miles Teller's guy is singing the drumming movie. Remember with the drumstick? He played the drummer. Miles Teller's been killing.
Whiplash. That's a fucking great movie.
Yeah. Miles Teller just killed that.
Yeah. Miles is fantastic. Another movie he's in, he's not like the lead in it, but another movie he's in that I really like, it's just a fun watch, is Project X. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he's good. I mean, Miles Teller, he does good stuff. I mean, I'll watch anything he's in. He's him. Who's the other guy I really like now too? There's a couple of them out of that group.
Hey, speaking of what actors make. I mean, obviously, Los Angeles is a place where, like, most people you run into, especially in like the Hollywood area, like they're all actors. Like the people serving your food, they're all actors, and to some extent. But like, Jim, have you ever been like, have we ever been to lunch where someone will figure out like what's going on and they'll drop a headshot and resume off to me like while we're eating?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, that used to happen to me all the time. Yeah. Like, I feel bad because these guys are trying so hard, but like, it's just such a difficult environment, to become successful in. It really takes some fortitude. I need to find you an Indian revolver that's made in India and is bored in 10 millimeter. It's a heck of an antique. So, oh well, shit. If it can shoot 10 millimeter, it definitely packs a punch. 10 millimeter is the best millimeter. Not so much the best for suppressing, the sound, because you're definitely, to take advantage of, what 10 millimeter has to offer. You definitely want the velocity, so you're definitely, supersonic. And you'll always get that crack from a supersonic. But anyway, you're not suppressing a revolver, right? Unless it's a really fucking cool revolver. Yeah, 10 millimeter is great. Love that stuff. Judgment Night. And I have not seen Judgment Night. Did you see that? 1993?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, just like athletes, millions try, thousands make it. That's very, very true.
Thousands. I'm not sure thousands. Yeah. Thousands. But still, hey, you're a volunteer, man. Look at having a job is not being an actor, an artist, a singer, songwriter, filmmaker, athlete. It is not a civil right. No, you don't deserve it. You earn it. Yeah. You can't wake up. I deserve this. No, you deserve what fucking people are willing to pay you. And if you don't like it, hold off for more money. It's like that whole goes back to the whole show me the money scene. All of a sudden, people have no right demanding money. Show me the money. Oh, then we'll move on from you. And it wiped out an entire generation of actors because they all had that same thing. Well, show me the money. Well, all right. I'll give you a job here. That happens. I saw that happen in real time. With the movie I was on, the thing I was going to do in Louisiana, I think that might have been before you. That they actors just be. No, it's a new movie. You're getting you're getting enough money here to make it worth your while, and if you wanted like star money, you're not a star.
Yeah.
Anyway, it happens.
It's funny because Vic's like, I need to watch Heat. And I'm like, yeah, everyone needs to watch Heat. That's a great freaking movie. But Toby's pointing out that in Judgment Night, Emilio Estevez, Jeremy Piven, and Dennis Leary, which is like such a cool combination, in my opinion. And then, of course, he's saying that Jeremy Piven played Elvis Walcott, too, in Black Hawk Down. Well, we're sitting here talking about the entertainment industry, and Jeremy Piven played what? He played the agent in Entourage, who is supposed to be representative of Ari Emanuel, but they called him Ari.
That put him on the map. That put Piven on the map,
He was fantastic in it. Yeah. Jeremy Piven's he's awesome. Have I ever fired a G3? Apparently, Indian Army still uses them alongside AKs, and then there's standard issue. So, okay. The MP5 started it all for me when I was a little kid. I wanted to be just like Charlie Sheen in the movie Navy SEALs, bust in the door and, kill some bad guys and kiss the princess, right? And so, when you go down that road, the G3 ends up being, definitely, and the guns like the G3, the PSG-1, G3 or like HK91 or even the HK93, these things are like iconic. And so a little later on in life, I got to try out all these guns like ad nauseum. I shot tons of rounds through G3s and stuff like that. And it was kind of like meeting your lifelong hero and finding out they're a crackhead. They're great guns, don't get me wrong. They just run really filthy. They have some quirks that I don't really care for. They dent the shit out of your brass. So if you want to reload brass or whatever, like forget it. Your brass is, it looks pretty rough. You gunk up those rollers with carbon in that action, and You know, like they run great when they run great, and then they get really dirty, and all of a sudden, you know, things aren't so great. Nonetheless, I'm not surprised they still run them. If you take care of them, they're really great rifles, and they shoot really well. German HK barrels are fantastic barrels, and you know, very, very accurate. So yeah, very familiar with the G3.
Predator 2. Predator 2 was one of the rare sequels that almost surpassed Predator 1. I mean, Predator 2 is great. Predator 2 is great.
Is it weird that I don't remember Predator 2?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Alien. Predator 2 sucked. No. I'm thinking Alien. Alien 2 is amazing. Alien 2 might be better than Alien 1. You know, it's like Godfather. You may think Godfather 2 might be better than Godfather 1. But you can't. Again, those are the movies you got to watch in tandem. You can't watch Godfather 1 without rolling right into Godfather. And Alien 1, you got to roll into Alien 2.
Yeah.
It's so well written in sequence, you know. Alien 3 sucks.
You know, there's a couple versions of the Godfather sequence. Did you know that? So
yeah, there's a director's cut, yeah.
No, you can watch Godfather 1 and then Godfather 2. But see, Godfather 2 has flashbacks to things that happened before Godfather 1. So there's another version that you can watch where they reorient the entire story so that you're watching it in chronological. So you're watching Godfather 1 and 2 spliced into one film in chronological order. And that's kind of a neat way to watch Godfather series.
That makes sense. Yeah. Although I don't know, I think the storytelling is, you know what, it's already so burned in my brain. I've watched it so many times. It's like I just watch it for nuances that I never saw before. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that car's, you know, it's just, to me, it was just it's the epitome of filmmaking.
Yeah. You know, Toby's bringing up Charlie Sheen's character Hawkins in Navy SEALs, and how he was basically a cowboy that, like, you know, would you know, start an unnecessary fight, let's say, on a mission, like not with his own guys, but with the enemy. And you know, it's a movie, it's entertaining, but that's not real life. Operators at that level, it's different. You know, you're not doing things out of ego. You're not doing things to get a rush. You're not doing things to be a badass. Everything you do is for the man next to you. That's it. So yeah, it's a movie and it's entertaining, but it's just not realistic, because those guys are they're consummate professionals. And you know, people step out of line. So, like, you know, someone's going to say, well, so-and-so did it. Okay, I get it. But when you're out on a mission, when you're deployed, this and that, it's all about the man next to you. And so people don't really behave like that. Makes for an entertaining movie, though. There's so many badass guns from every country on Earth. Yeah, there's a lot of badass guns from all over. Yeah, Toby, I definitely remember what you're talking about.
Leonardo Classic. What's TMNT? What is that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Your dad had a Derringer. That's kind of cool. That's a cool little pistol to conceal. So, man, we ran away on the gun topics here, man. I love it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a new world. It's a new world.
I guess that's kind of obvious. You know what? In fact, I mean, like, there's more walls. Yeah. It had cheesy moments.
I think Predator 1 was such a great movie. It was like, it really was the baseline for that whole genre of, like, it was just great. There's nothing about that film. And plus, I was at the set down in Puerto Vallarta. They actually had the set. You can tour the set. It was just amazing. Predator 2, I think they really, I don't know if they expected Predator 1 to be that good. I think they rushed the script for Predator 2. It was it's an urban setting. You know, I think they just rushed it, and I don't know. I just thought they really came out too more time on the script, I think.
You know, Predator was so much fun when I was a kid, and it's like any movie you throw the line like, I ain't got time to bleed. Like, that's just going to be a cool movie back then, man.
That was just Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura.
Hey, Stallone. Hey, Stone Baloney. Good to see you. We're going to close it up here at 11 minutes. We're going to kill out of here. So
I like that name, Stony Baloney.
Yeah.
Give me 3.5 throwing knives. Oh, dude, throwing knives. Yeah, throwing knives are fun.
Do you guys go on a Gab? Yeah, we tend to. Yeah.
No, he's talking about Gab, that Twitter. It's like Twitter, but it's like a free speech thing. Like years ago when it came out, like the left completely attacked it and really stunted its growth.
I have no idea what that is. I have to look it up.
It's basically like Truth Social, but yeah, it's an alternative to Twitter. That's what he's talking about. Booyakasha. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Corbin, you guys are taking a beating up there, or move to. I hope Alberta has success up there. I mean, I just think, I think what happened to Canada? We still look up to Canada as a place of freedom.
Well, your government sucks. Your government totally sucks. I mean, Canada is a beautiful place. The people, I've known in Canada, played hockey with, done all that stuff with growing up. I've loved them all. Your government sucks. I mean, who's the prime minister now? Twinkle Toes is gone, right?
But guys, this is bad. This is bad. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's whack-a-mole.
I just thought that in Alberta they're taking steps to kind of. I like Alberta.
Yeah, I mean, look, Canada wants to control look at what they did. They're trying to bust people for misgendering, people and shit like that. Canada wants to subjugate their citizens. They want to control what you can say, how you can address people, this and that. Well, of course, someone who wants that much control also wants your guns. Why do you think that is? It's not even a debate. It's a historical fact.
Well, but what they did to the truckers during that protest, they took over. That's that's an issue. That's a real big issue for me. They doing that. Quebec's part of the problem, I think. Isn't Quebec where all this started from? Wasn't the?
Yeah, but Quebec is like French Canadian. Shit, how do I do this? So when I was a kid, I played hockey all over Canada. Jim, you did too. You go to places like Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. You go all over Canada. People are great. You have a great time, right? Everyone treats you nice, and obviously if you're being decent with other people. Quebec is the only place you go and you're just like, what the fuck? Beautiful place. Most of the people are nice, but they can be snooty. It's a French thing, I think. Sorry.
Yeah, my hockey school was up there, and I got both ends of it. I got the guys who I bought the beer from at this hockey warehouse. They were amazing, but the guys who ran the rink and ran the facility we were staying at, they were just awful. They're so inhospitable. So it's like everywhere else. It's just whoever gets control. When weak people get control, they do horrible things. When strong people get control, they don't have to overcompensate. This is why we're in better shape right now, because we have weak people in charge, or petty people. They tend to create make petty decisions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you want to own the Dirty Harry gun, but Washington has stupid gun laws. Yeah, Washington has to. In fact, Canada, if you're listening, you can have Washington. We don't want it. Sorry. Yeah, move out of that place. Listen, I lived in California for many years, and when I moved out, and I was so happy. I felt so good when I left California. And then I realized I waited too long. I should have left way earlier. So if you're living in a place where even federally, we don't really have a Second Amendment anymore. The federal government has infringed upon it so much. We've got something. It's just not the Second Amendment, right? But if you live in a state that's even more restrictive, just get out of there. Life's too short. Go live a good life and fuck those places. And when I say fuck those places, I don't mean just turn your back on them and leave. But the more people who do that, the more taxes you take out of there. You get a really big outflux of people. All of a sudden, you're changing the electoral system in that state. There's a lot you can do. You're actually fucking the state. So fuck those liberal states. Get out of there. Go live and be happy.
Well, Tony, I agree, but what you're forgetting is the best hockey teams are filled with a lot of guys from Russia too. I mean,
Yeah.
in Finland, and there's, I don't think the Canadian teams can't win because I don't think they're willing to spend the money for the foreign players. A lot of foreign players don't want to play up there. A lot of the American guys don't want to go there and pay taxes. And I know the Russians don't. I know the Finns don't. So they have a hard time getting guys to go up there and play. And because they'd rather go to Florida.
Yeah.
The other thing.
And who's the coolest hockey player to ever play the game?
Who?
Oh, come on.
Fucking Yager?
No.
I can give you 20 guys. Who are you talking about? Brett Hull's fucking pretty cool.
There's a lot of people who are pretty cool, but who's like the coolest?
No.
Who do you think I'm gonna say? Who do you think I'm gonna say?
No. Fuck you. No.
Who?
No.
No. Okay, I'm not gagging you. No, I'm not gagging you. This isn't a joke like that. I'm being real. I'm being real. I promise.
No.
Pavel Bure.
Pavel's pretty great.
Yeah, Pavel. I mean, look.
Okay, if you can't go there, then you got to go Datsuk.
Yeah, you got to go Datsuk too. Yeah, I mean,
Datsuk was sick.
I'm actually convinced he's not human though. Like, so I don't think he doesn't get into the conversation because he's not human. That's a fucking alien. Okay.
Yeah, Datsuk was insane. When you watch his highlight, you go, what the fuck is he? How does he do that?
Yeah.
Although you got to say, Connor McDavid is kind of insane right now.
Connor McDavid's
and but then let's go down a list of new guys. Nathan McKinnon, that's fucking ridiculous. Makar, Cal Makar, that's a list. And pick any of the Quinn brothers, the Hughes brothers, the Hughes brothers. There's so many good hockey players, man.
See, I haven't kept like. I love hockey, but I love playing it so much that watching it, like, I haven't followed it in a long time. And I think that's probably why I'm like, dude, Pavel Bure, like, and people like today are like, who? Yeah, the Russian Rocket, man. Like, he was my favorite growing up. I loved him.
Well, we don't talk about Gretzky. You don't touch that. That's like you take Gretzky, put him over here. And you talk about everybody else. And, Bobby Orr goes here too. I'm sure Bobby Orr, maybe Lemieux, but they're
close. Messier too. Messier was a great player.
No, Messier is like Eiserman. Messier was amazing, but I
loved Eiserman and Fedorov. Oh, Sergei Fedorov.
No, they're all in the A group. You have the A group, but you have Gretzky and Orr. That was just different shit. That was you don't talk about them. That was just different. That's different shit. Remember, Gretzky got more assists than anybody has fucking points. Yeah. Just let that settle in. And
it's not really like a and with Gretzky, it was never really a points, assists, or goals thing. Although he mastered it. With Gretzky, it was a vision thing. Like, that guy had vision on the ice. Again, he's a fucking alien. That's cheating. That doesn't count. He had vision on the ice, like eyes in the sides and the back of his head, knowing where everyone was on both sides of the puck. And he could just put the puck exactly where it needed to be to make sure one of his teammates got it in the net. Like, his style of play was remarkable. Like, everything about him was...
Again, you can't talk about Gretzky. You can't put him in a conversation.
Yeah.
Him and Orr. Yeah. I got to put Orr because I watched Orr. That was something different. Something else was going on with that. He only played 9 years, but still, something else was going on. That was a whole different thing.
Yeah. Have I ever told you my Gretzky story? I have a Gretzky story. So listen, I used to play for the Junior Kings, and we would go to our training camp at Ice Castle's training center in Lake Arrowhead. I don't even think it's there anymore. And the reason we did this was because it was high altitude training. You would like be puking in like these troughs on the other side of the boards that they put there, and they'd skate the shit out of us. And then we go sleep in the dorms and come back the next day and train. And in our dorms were like Christy Yamaguchi and like famous figure skaters because they were training up there too. So the Kings would train up there for the same reason, the high altitude training. And so the Kings would get done with practice, and we'd be sitting there, right when they like open up the corner and like we'd go and skate with the Kings for a few minutes before our practice started. And like Gretzky would always kind of be like, hey guys, and duck out. Right. And it kind of sucked because we all wanted to like hang out with Wayne Gretzky and we only got like a few seconds. But like some of the cool guys, like back in the day, like Marty McSorley, like he used to fucking hang out and skate with us until it was like time for him to get the fuck off the ice. Tony Granato, Thomas Sandstrom, like all those guys, they used to totally hang out and they were rad people. I really love it. Gretzky was a great guy too, but I guess he just had stuff to do, so he got off the ice.
Hey Vic, in terms of Ovechkin, Ovi is great. Believe me, Ovi's right up there in the all-time greats. He's what I put him with Messier and Yager, but he is not Gretzky. Again, he's got maybe 1,500 points. Gretzky's got more assists than he has points. You got to listen to that. He has more assists than Ovechkin has points. So
Ovechkin's amazing, but
Ovi he's all-time great, but you can't put him in the conversation with or fucking Gretzky. You just can't.
Yeah, Bobby Orr and Wayne Gretzky. I mean, they're not even hockey players. They're just.
It's something else. Something else happened.
Yeah.
Something else happened in the world.
Yeah. Oh, Stoney Baloney went to inauguration back in January for a school field trip. Holy shit! Like which this past January? That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a neat school trip.
Oh yeah, it's easy. I mean, you can throw. You have your A list. Messier, Joe Sakic. Come on. I mean, like Yzerman, Trottier, Mike Bossy. I mean, you can go farther back. Mahavlich. You can go. There's guys, but again.
Do you think in general, when you talk about hockey as a sport and you talk about countries that are pretty dominant in the game, just in general, Canada or Russia?
Well, I think it was a different style of play. I think it's getting homogenized. I think the Canadians dominated because it was such a brutal sport. I mean, hockey in the 60s was just Canadian hockey was fucking brutal. Just look at the series between Russia and Canada. I mean, it's like Bobby Clark broke Kaprizov's ankle, just fucking two-handed him. I mean, Canadian hockey is just fucking brutal. And European hockey had no fighting, so they played a different game, a bigger ice surface. They come here, and it became. But the Russians, remember the Russians took what's his name? It was a Canadian coach wrote a book on hockey called the Hockey Bible. And during World War I, they brought it over to Russia. The Russians took it apart line by line. They started teaching Russians Canadian hockey, and they kept advancing it. So most of the stuff the Russians were doing, all the cycling, that was Canadian hockey from the 30s. Lloyd Percival, and he wrote a book, and he dropped it off, and Tarasov took it, and the Russians just fucking off the off-ice training and necessity, they just became, a better version of the Canadian game. And then when the Canadians kept winning the Russia kept winning the Olympics, they said, well, they're professionals. Well, they fucking were. But if they had, the game has kind of merged now, where the best of both cultures. The training now in the States is amazing. Everybody.
Americans are now very formidable. When it comes to hockey.
The Russians are so super highly skilled, but Conor McGregor wouldn't be as good if he didn't have some of the training that pulled from Europe. So it's all one thing now. Like the guys coming out of Finland, like Barkov, everyone is just great hockey players all over the world. It's kind of great.
I think for me, and no offense to Canada, like I said, I fucking love Canadians, and Canada's a beautiful place, and their hockey is just unbelievable. It's amazing. But Russia, man, with that team that won all those Olympics, I mean, they really showed what happens when you take guys and you lock them up and only let them play hockey and only feed them when they do well, and like maybe there's some
Well,
hyperbole.
but you saw when they brought the Russian 5 to Detroit. When
Yeah.
Remember for the 2 years they had Larionov, Federer, I mean, all those Russian guys playing together. That was a whole other. They just dominated the NHL for a couple of years.
But you know what the Russians did expose? You know what they did expose? They exposed that the greatest coach in the history of hockey was actually an American. Come on, Jim. No, don't even. I'm not having this conversation. Okay, he was the greatest coach in the history of hockey. Herb Brooks. Okay,
I think Scotty Bowman's pretty great.
Who the fuck was going to beat the Russians in 1980? Nobody could.
Okay, but listen.
You had a bunch of kids.
I love what happened, but when you listen to the interviews about the Russians, what they say that happened was it was the figure skaters that beat them because the Russians were all drunk. They had no respect for the Americans at all, so they were not chasing girls, getting drunk the night before, so they were fucking hungover during that game. And
Is that really? Has that been proven?
Well, there's a lot of testaments that this.
Bro, the Russians, their coaches probably locked them in cages.
No, these Russians, these were guys. This Federer, these guys they've been in the national team for 20 fucking years. These are veterans. There weren't many young guys in that Russian, and I think they just got caught flat-footed. They didn't respect the youth. They just beat 14-0 at 2 weeks before. So I think they just really took it for granted, and they figured, this Americans are a cakewalk, and they got caught flat-footed.
Yeah, but I don't think they took it for granted in the second period. Maybe in the first period, but when they saw,
then it was too late. By then, the fucking Americans were skating all over them.
Well, no, by then it was a tie game, right? And America did go into the third period down. America was not ahead or tied going in the third period. So, but I get it. Some of that is probably true as far as, getting caught flat-footed, underestimating your opponent. However, remember, I don't care if the Russians stepped out on the ice with the syringes hanging out of their veins, pumped full of whatever fucking drugs they had back then. Okay, they were the greatest fucking hockey team in the world. Herb Brooks, he had a bunch of college-age kids, right? A bunch of college-age kids. Some had played with each other. Some played against each other. These guys were. This was I don't want to say
they had played a 75-game schedule before the tournament. I mean, that
whose idea was that?
Yeah, but they had played that. Well, that had been going on for a while. That was. I'm saying it was a great achievement, but at the same time, I think if the Russians had taken it fucking seriously, it might have been a different story. I think the team was primed to lose. I think they had built a young, strong, fast American team. So if it's going to happen, it was a perfect storm for it to happen.
You're calling down the thunder right now, right? Would it have been better to match up the Russian team with, I don't know, the Hamilton Mustangs?
See, now you're just being an asshole.
Right. Instead of Eruzione, instead of Mike Eruzione.
See.
Okay. Who should we have had, Jim? Dean Youngblood.
See. And look, it's time to go. It's 7:00. It's time to go. It's time to go.
7:00. It's 10:00 here. I'm in Ohio.
Well, I have work to do. I got shit to do. I make a living. I can't be rich like you getting a free shit sent to me. Someone's got to work for a living.
John Cena. What the hell is a Hamilton Mustang? Okay, you need to go watch a really fucking awesome.
No, you don't. Don't do it.
Jim, he
don't
asked. Let me answer. Let me answer. Look.
Don't fucking do it.
Old Rob Lowe movie.
Forgive yourself.
Okay. It's an old Rob Lowe movie called Youngblood. It's a
You're
hockey.
better off getting an enema. Go give yourself an enema. In fact,
the goaltender.
It's better than watching.
The goaltender in the movie is Keanu Reeves, right? It's like the first time you ever see Keanu Reeves on a screen, I think. Okay. It's also what's his name's in it. Patrick Swayze, right? It's not.
And my friend wrote it and directed it.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. Okay, is it the best movie? No. But is it fucking entertaining if you're a hockey player? Yes. Okay.
No.
But no, listen. You're forgetting the mentality of hockey players back in our day. Okay, like we wore mullets. Mullets, like we were known for bad choices. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with Youngblood.
Ugh, I can't. I bring you on here, I invite you into my house, and this is what you do.
It's a good movie. Okay, it's not like it's not like a classic.
I show you respect. I give you an opportunity to, and you gotta hurt me. You just fucking have to hurt me.
It's not like the classics, okay? It's not like the classics.
You gotta hurt me all the time.
Technically, Goon and Goon 2 are better movies. Technically, Slapshot, fucking great movie. There's all kinds of great hockey movies. But just because they're better doesn't mean that you can ignore Youngblood. It's a good movie. If you're a hockey player, if you like hockey, just watch it. It's awesome.
No.
Now, what you don't want to watch is Snakes on a Plane, because that's fucking horrifying.
That's it.
He hates it when I go there. He hates it when I go there.
Stupidest movie of all freaking time.
Yeah, it's a stupid movie, but it's fucking horrifying, man. Bunch of angry, fucking hormone poised, venomous snakes in a fucking airplane.
Pick up your laptop, computer, smack them on the head. It's done. It's such an easy thing to just grab your laptop. I mean, we're taking 3 minutes.
Bro, snakes are horrifying, man. I'm Indiana Jones. I'm Indiana Jones when it comes to snakes, man. I just don't do snakes.
You've never been around a snake in your fucking life.
What's that? I've never.
Snakes.
No, man. I've been around snakes. I don't like them. They're horrifying. Unless you're shooting them, that's kind of funny.
I'm like your ex-wife here, okay? That's not that kind of snake. It's a different kind of snake.
My ex-wife is more of a viper.
She's a pit viper. That one.
She's kind of a bitch. Yeah. Who's going to put bets on Darwin versus Sarge? Wait, what are we betting on?
I don't know.
Who's going to win the argument on who's the best hockey coach? No, it's Youngblood's added to the list. Good for you, Vic. Watch Youngblood. Enjoy that.
You just lost all my respect. Here I thought you were a good man. Now you're not.
In fact, let me know what you think of it. Like, find me on
rattlesnake is delicious. Rattlesnake is like chicken. It's absolutely delicious.
Stony Baloney, what kind of gun person hates snakes? I like shooting them. I'm not really big on no. I used to go out on this road where in the summer the road would stay really hot and the snakes would go out on this very deserted road, and they would to get the warmth from the road. And so I'd go out there with friends, and we had a snake stick, and we'd move them off the road before they got run over. And I took this time to actually hold rattlesnakes in my hands, right? I was like, I'm going to face this fucking fear, and I'm going to get rid of it. And I held a bunch of rattlesnakes, and you know what? I'm still scared as shit. Yeah, I like snakes when they're belts and boots. That's fine. Although I don't really wear that stuff. I'm pretty plain Jane. Yes, American Sniper. Yeah, I remember that scene. See, Darwin, me, 4 of my friends, and then girlfriend who I'm still friends with, all were near the barrier and shook hands with. Oh shit, you shook hands with the president. That's kind of cool. What do I think about it? I would do it. I would definitely do it. I would love to shake hands with the president. Oh boy. And you know what the thing is? Look, I don't always agree with the president. I voted for him 3 times. He won 3 times. But I hold his feet to the fire when it comes to the Second Amendment, because I think that there's a lot more that they could be doing, and that's what I do, and that's what I write about. So I definitely do that. But at the same time, I do like him. If he ran again, which he can't, but if he did, I would probably vote for him again, because I just don't know of someone I like better at the moment. So yeah, I think that's awesome that you got to shake hands with Donald Trump. That's pretty cool. Oh God, long live Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, totally. I had the song "Mama, I'm Coming Home" all day in my head today. Let's gift Darwin a snake. No, don't send me a snake. I'm just going to abuse it. I'm just going to
abuse it.
Yeah. You're thinking about getting a boa. I was at a party one time when I was pretty young, and I went to the bath. I was probably 19, something like that, and I went to the bathroom, and my buddy had this big albino python in his fucking bathtub, and I had to piss, and I'm like, fuck this, and I walked out and I'm like, this is stupid. So my buddy goes in there and he's making fun of me and calling me a pussy, and he's tapping the snake on the head, being a real asshole. So the snake, this thing's big. It was like this thick around, okay? It was a big guy. The snake bites him for being an asshole. Now, it's no poison or anything, but he's bleeding pretty good, and he thinks it's funny. So he grabs the snake out of the tub and starts chasing me. So next thing you know, I'm running down the street. I'm like literally running down the road. He's chasing me with this big albino boa in his hand. I'm screaming like a little girl. Like, dude, I just don't do snakes.
I've been bit by a snake before. Yeah, I got bit by a snake when I was a kid.
It's horrifying. Can't stand
Well, it was like a garden. It wasn't that long. It kind of got me on the arm. I was fishing. It kind of got me in the arm. I pulled it out. It's hanging. I go, look, I got a snake. Everything gets running over. Take the head off. I'm bleeding. Look at it. I got a teeth mark.
Yeah. No. Dude. Yeah, I don't do. No to snakes.
This is true. Youngblood or enema. Tough choice for tonight. Go with the enema. Believe me.
Dude, Youngblood. Come on, all the way.
You'll be fresh and clean. If you watch Youngblood, you feel like you've just been doused in poop.
Oh, come on. That's not nice. But you can picture Sarge chasing me with a snake. Yeah, don't do that. Like, I own guns now. I'll shoot the snake. Listen. So, as a gun person, should you get the Smith & Wesson Model 19 357? It just really depends on what you want. I met Becky actually with Jim. We were together going to the shooting range with some friends, and Becky was one of the friends of those friends, and she brought out a Smith & Wesson 357. It was their 7-shot. I think it's called a 686. Beautiful gun, and shoots really well. And 357, it's like when you don't want to ask twice, right? 357 is a fucking great round. From a revolver, it's great. I don't think you really need to go with anything like a 44 mag. Like, no, you don't want to pay for 44 mag ammo, and you don't want to shoot that a lot. 44 mags, like how many bears are you expecting to like break into your house? That's what a 44 mag is really excels. 357 is much more manageable, but still, like, really enough power to just knock the block off an intruder. I would go with the 357. I do like having the 7 shots in Becky's 686 Smith & Wesson. Great gun. She got the one with the wood grips, and it's beautiful as well. So that's awesome. Now, would I own the Dirty Harry gun? Would I get a big 44? Abso-fucking-lutely. But like, it wouldn't be my first gun. It wouldn't be my second gun. It would just be something that I would have because it's fucking cool. Yeah. So I would go with the 357.
All right, man. It's 7:17.
It's 10:17. It's 10:17.
It's 10:17.
A 357 mag can kill a bear too. Sure. Like when I used to go out in like bear country.
Hit them, darling.
Yeah. When I used to go out in bear country, I would carry a 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter is even more potent than 357 mag, but they're pretty close. And 357 mag can do it. But like, if you really want to be sure, grab that 44 Magnum for the bear, and you're pretty good to go. Of course, if you can hit them with like a high velocity rifle, like I really like a lever action 30-30, like a Winchester 94, like that's fantastic. You're going to get more velocity, which means more penetration, and penetration's good in more than one way. So, yeah, there was a little sexual innuendo there, Jim. I was trying to be inappropriate.
I don't play that game. That's for you and your wife.
we have a few games. Would you like to hear about them? No, kidding.
All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I got shit to do.
Okay,
all right, thanks for tuning in. We should be back here this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on my schedule. And man,
Watch this, Jim. Oh, I for the studio, I got those lights where you can use your iPhone to change the color. It's pretty cool.
Jesus Christ! All right, man. You want to take us out, Darwin?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little red light special for you. My wood is out because, you know, little did you know, I'm not wearing pants right now. That's right.
All right.
I'm sitting here at my
Enough
desk.
said. Enough said. All right, buddy. Thanks for coming in. See you soon. Wood's out.
My wood's out.